Martin Freeman has always been known for his introspective roles in films and television series, where he often portrays characters grappling with deep emotional complexities. In a candid discussion, he delves into the personal aspects of his life, particularly the sensation of feeling isolated even when in a committed partnership. This revelation comes from a place of genuine self-awareness, highlighting how relationships, despite their inherent closeness, can sometimes foster a profound sense of solitude that is difficult to articulate or resolve. He explains that one of the key indicators of underlying issues in a relationship is when loneliness creeps in. It's that nagging feeling of being alone, even when physically together with a partner. This isn't about physical separation but an emotional disconnect that manifests in ways that are hard to pinpoint or discuss openly. Freeman suggests that if you start experiencing this isolation, where your thoughts and emotions seem to exist in a parallel universe unshared with your significant other, it's a signal that something needs attention. Perhaps communication has broken down, or unspoken expectations have created invisible barriers. In his view, ignoring these feelings can lead to further detachment, making it essential to recognize them early on. Reflecting on his own experiences, Freeman draws from a long-term relationship that spanned 16 years. During this time he shared not only personal life but also professional collaborations, appearing alongside his partner in various projects. They built a family together, welcoming 2 children who are now navigating their late teens. This shared history underscores the complexity of relationships, how they intertwine personal, familial, and career elements, yet still allow room for individual loneliness to emerge. He points out that loyalty often prevents people from voicing these concerns. The idea of questioning the relationship feels like a betrayal, a disloyal act that society or personal morals deem unacceptable. This self-imposed silence can exacerbate the problem, turning minor doubts into significant rifts. Freeman elaborates on how we tend to overcomplicate our inner thoughts. In our minds, any hint of dissatisfaction or curiosity about the state of the relationship is seen as forbidden territory. We label it as disloyal or inappropriate, suppressing it rather than exploring it. But he argues that this suppression is counterproductive. Relationships are dynamic, evolving entities that require ongoing reflection. By avoiding these uncomfortable questions, we deny ourselves the opportunity for growth and deeper connection. Instead, acknowledging them can lead to healthier dialogues and stronger bonds. Now, in a new relationship that has been ongoing for several years, Freeman brings a matured perspective. He acknowledges that in any partnership, both individuals will inevitably have thoughts, feelings, memories, and experiences that might cause discomfort. These could stem from past relationships, personal insecurities, or even daily stresses. The key is to accept that such internal experiences are normal and not indicative of failure. Moreover, he emphasizes the importance of empathy, realizing that your partner is likely going through similar internal processes. We often forget that our loved ones have their own rich inner worlds, complete with thoughts and emotions that we aren't privy to. This universe in their head is separate from ours, and that's okay. It doesn't diminish the relationship, it enriches it by adding layers of individuality. To illustrate, imagine a scenario where one partner feels overwhelmed by work, leading to emotional withdrawal. The other might interpret this as rejection, fostering loneliness. But if both recognize that these feelings are mutual and temporary, they can navigate through it together. Freeman's insights encourage a shift from isolation to shared understanding. He practices this by reminding himself that his partner's experiences are as valid and complex as his own. This mutual recognition can bridge gaps that loneliness creates. Expanding on this theme, loneliness in relationships isn't just a personal anecdote. It's a universal phenomenon that psychologists and relationship experts have studied extensively. For instance, emotional loneliness occurs when there's a lack of intimate connection, even in the presence of companionship. Freeman's comments align with this, suggesting that unaddressed emotional needs can lead to a sense of being on my own here. He implies that broaching these topics, though challenging, is crucial. Perhaps through open conversations, couples can realign their emotional compasses. In his professional life, Freeman has portrayed characters who embody similar struggles. In roles where he plays everyday people facing existential dilemmas, there's often an undercurrent of isolation. This might stem from his own life experiences, informing his acting choices. He brings authenticity to these portrayals, making them relatable to audiences who have felt similar pangs in their own relationships. Furthermore, the concept of loyalty that Freeman mentions is worth unpacking. In many cultures, loyalty is equated with unwavering commitment, where doubts are seen as weaknesses. But true loyalty might involve honesty about one's feelings, allowing the relationship to evolve rather than stagnate. By complicating things in our minds, as he says, we create unnecessary barriers. Simplifying our approach, accepting that questions are part of the human experience, can lead to more fulfilling partnerships. Freeman also touches on the inevitability of uncomfortable thoughts. In long-term relationships, memories from the past can resurface, triggering comparisons or regrets. Feelings towards others outside the relationship might flicker briefly, not as infidelity but as natural human curiosity. He advises not to panic over these, instead view them as transient. By doing so, we normalize them and reduce their power to disrupt. Applying this to his current situation, being with someone from a different cultural background adds another layer. Cross-cultural relationships can amplify feelings of loneliness if cultural differences aren't bridged. Yet, Freeman seems to navigate this with grace, focusing on mutual respect for each other's inner worlds. In essence, Freeman's reflections serve as a guide for anyone in a relationship. They remind us that loneliness doesn't mean the end, it's an invitation to connect more deeply. By addressing it head-on without the weight of perceived disloyalty, couples can foster environments where both partners feel seen and heard. Delving deeper, consider the psychological underpinnings. Attachment theory suggests that our early experiences shape how we handle closeness and separation in adult relationships. If someone has an anxious attachment style, they might feel loneliness more acutely, interpreting distance as abandonment. Freeman's advice to recognize and discuss these feelings aligns with therapeutic approaches like couples counseling, where vulnerability is encouraged. He also highlights forgetting the reciprocity of emotions. It's easy to become self-absorbed in our pain, overlooking that our partner might be silently suffering too. This empathy deficit can perpetuate cycles of loneliness. Practicing mindfulness, being present in the moment, can help attune to each other's needs.